Today we delve into the intriguing tale of Isabella Hellman, from her adventurous romance with Lewis Bennett to the fateful night at sea that led to questions of whether she was lost or murdered. This is a story of love, deceit, and the enigmatic depths of the open ocean that continue to captivate and perplex. Today we will talk about if Isabella Hellman was lost at sea or murdered. Isabella's life took an interesting change in 2015. Online, she connected with Lewis Bennett, a former sailor who now ran a tiny Australian solar panel business. Following a brief courtship, Lewis flew Isabella to see him in a number of ports across the world, including Singapore and Tahiti. Their bond became stronger, and in July 2016, they brought Amelia into the world as their daughter. After Amelia was born, the couple bought an apartment in Delray Beach, Florida, 6 months later. For this new family, everything appeared to be coming together. Under the stars, Isabella and Lewis were going to have the honeymoon of a lifetime when they departed in April 2017. From the tiny Caribbean island of St. Martin, they sailed their catamaran surf into summer toward their home in Florida. They traveled via the British Virgin Islands around the Puerto Rican coast, and finally toward Cuba during the course of the following 2 weeks. They gave the impression of a joyful, infatuated couple taking a fantasy trip to strangers. 3 hours after leaving Veradero, Cuba, on May 14, 2017, Isabella called her sister, happy to be seeing her baby girl again the next day. Shortly after the call, Isabella and Lewis alternated night watch duty. That fateful evening, Isabella's turn came, the last part of their voyage. A loud noise startled Lewis as he was retiring to the stateroom. Lewis hurried to the deck to find his wife gone, the helm vacant, and the sails and rigging loose. When he discovered their catamaran was sinking, panic broke out. Lewis packed a life raft with necessities in a last-ditch attempt to survive, including food, silver coins, a radio transmitter, a rucksack, duffel bags, water, and flares for rescue. From the life raft, 26 nautical miles west of Casel Bank in the Bahamas, Lewis made a distress call at 1 in the morning. He wondered what had become of Isabella, alone on the high seas in international waters. His wife remained gone, but ultimately the Coast Guard's rescue swimmers discovered him safe and undamaged. They found their catamaran upside down, floating in the morning. Lewis asked for a letter from the Coast Guard stating that his wife was assumed dead, less than 24 hours after the official end of the Isabella search. Authorities could not provide the certificates, thus they rejected the request. Lewis seemed to quickly lose hope for his missing wife, which confused many with his actions. Lewis declared on May 24th that he would travel to Cuba to carry on Isabella's hunt. According to what he said, he talked with authorities there and looked around hospitals, but she was not there. It had been 2 weeks since her disappearance. Lewis showed up at Isabella's family house on May 28th to pick up their daughter. The conversation soured as Isabella's relatives accused him of being the reason she vanished. Lewis left with his daughter in the end, even when the cops intervened. Law police and Isabella's relatives were suspicious of Lewis's actions following his wife's disappearance. During a police interview on May 30th, he refuted any knowledge of Isabella's disappearance. While he presented a picture of a contented family life, those who knew Isabella well painted a different, more contentious picture. In the course of looking into Isabella's disappearance, the police also discovered another crime involving Lewis. His job as a first mate on a yacht that was parked in the Caribbean and had 617 valuable silver and gold coins worth approximately $100,000 was stolen a year prior. Before a rescue swimmer noticed a heavy backpack on the stranded catamaran, the case had gone cold. Around 200 coins, some of the stolen collection, were in that backpack. A search of Lewis's flat in June 2017 turned up 162 gold coins stashed in a cupboard. Lewis had already sent his daughter to England, where his parents resided, notwithstanding this news. Lewis had little choice but to return to the United States in order to sell his apartment and file an insurance claim for the lost catamaran, though, due to his financial circumstances. He was detained in Florida in August 2017, accused of stealing, and given a sentence of 7 months in jail and 3 years on probation. And even though he could not afford $250,000 in bail, he was still determined to get Isabella pronounced dead so he could inherit her possessions. The Palm Beach County Circuit Judge did not formally proclaim Isabella deceased until February 2018, which was 2 years after she vanished. Lewis Bennett faced second-degree murder charges that same day, which changed the course of the inquiry. According to police theories, Lewis deliberately crashed their catamaran with the goal of taking Isabella's wealth to settle his debts and send their daughter to Australia. Isabella frequently argued with Lewis and expressed dread of him in text messages. The catamaran's inspection revealed that it had been purposely scuttled rather than destroyed by accident. Lewis Bennett struck a plea agreement in November 2019 and admitted guilt to manslaughter rather than second-degree murder. He might have received a maximum term of 8 years in prison under this agreement. Raising doubts about his complicity, the evidence pointed to his behavior following Isabella's disappearance. Isabella Hellman's disappearance is still a sad and puzzling real-life criminal story. Her disappearance has led to accusations against Lewis Bennett, but it is still possible that the whole story of what transpired on that fateful night at sea will never be discovered. Isabella's narrative serves as a warning about love, deceit, and the mysterious nature of the open ocean. Her family is still in mourning for the death of their cherished daughter and sister. What do you think about this case? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.